doing a what I've been playing video here today, and a mini review, short review of the first game I'm going to be showing. You'll see him in the thumbnail, obviously, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I finished this up the other day. I talked about it in another video. I put 100 hours into it. Well spent. Excellent game. I was going to do a regular review, but I'm like, I don't want to. I'll just kind of breeze through it. I was just not in the mood to. So I figured I'm going to do what I've been playing video. I'll talk about there. Graphically, it looks amazing. Like, really, like, all throughout the game, I'm just stopping it and looking, and I'm just like, holy shit. The textures on everything are great. I was playing some Xbox One games, and you see it. A little bit of the griminess. This game has, like, none of that. I talked about the character models. Some of the character models in this game, like, all of them are good, but some are just ridiculous. They look so good. All the effects, too, when you're in battle. This stuff going flying. Spells are being cast. You know, you're getting little spark type stuff and shit. You know, Barrett's gun, everything just going crazy. It just all looks good. It doesn't slow down. I had one glitch. I talked about it where I was doing a specific fight, an intel fight. So you have to do objectives, and you have to beat all the enemies a certain time limit. And I thought I had him, and all of a sudden there's an enemy running around. I'm like, it said I did it, and I can't kill that one, and I'm stuck because I can't leave the battlefield because this is an intel fight. I can't just run away or whatever. So I had to reload a save, which was right there, but that was annoying. But that was the only glitch that I encountered. Obviously, it takes place after the first part of the remake. So you're exploring the world at this point. The point you're at in Midgar, you pop up in Midgar. At points, you use Zack a little bit. You battle with him at the end boss, but you're walking around with him mostly in the beginning. And you're doing some stuff in Midgar there. It's just kind of flashback. It's flashing to that point or whatever. But you're using everybody from the first game. Aerith, Tifa, Cloud, Barrett. And then they throw, you get Yuffie and the Kate Sith pop up. Right? It's just the 6 of them. You come across Vincent Valentine as well, who is in Dirge of Cerberus. I don't know what else he popped in terms of Final Fantasy VII, but I was like, oh, hopefully you can play as him. He's badass, and you don't play as him. And Sid, who has the airship, the plane that then turns into a boat. There's tons to do in this game. Like, there's different regions. You start off in the grasslands, then you're in Junon, then you're in Corel. Not Gonzaga, that's the I forget what it's called, the jungle area. You go back to, I can't remember, it's Cloud and Tifa's hometown. You go back there too, you start the game there in a flashback, where you actually use Sephiroth very briefly. That was the demo too. Why can't I remember the name of it? I can't remember. And the Cosmo Canyon, which is where... Oh, Red 13. I forgot about Red 13. You use him as well. He's obviously in the party from the first part of the remake. So it was 7 of them, I believe. There was nobody else, right? Cosmo Canyon, and I don't know why I can't remember the name of their town. But that one's there. And you get side quests you can do in there. There's Queen's Blood, which is a card-based kind of battle game, little game you play. That has its own side quest thing, and I was talking to my friend because he'd played the original back in the day. And I was like, was this in the original? He's like, no, it wasn't. So they added that. You're doing tons of side stuff for people. Like I said, there's intel battles, there's the proto-relic stuff. There's the Gold Saucer has a bunch of little things you can do, chocobo racing. Stuff like that. There's the intel, and then as you get the intel, you can do fight like bosses in the region, kind of boss battles in the region, fiends. There's a resort too that's part of the coral area. Or is it part of the jungle area? Oh, I can't remember. There's a ton of stuff to do in the resort too. You're doing a lot of mini game type stuff, and you get different outfits there and shit. There's a good amount of side quests, and it opens up after like chapter 12. All of a sudden, there's more stuff. You get these pirate treasures. You're on Sid's freaking now airboat, going around finding stuff. There's a ton to do. Just a ton to do. Like I said, I put 100 hours into it. There might have been an idle hour or two. I think it actually shuts off the timer if you're like on the. When you go to the screen where you can transmutate stuff in this game too, you find all of your supplies, materials, and you can transmutate them into things, and then you get experience to level that up, and you can then transmutate more items and armors and stuff like that, whatever. And there's a couple of missions you have to actually make certain things on a couple of side quests. But you do that. What was I saying right before this? You can find the materials and stuff. What? There's different chocobos too in each region. They have different like abilities. You usually have to do a couple of stealth quests to get the chocobos. So you have to like distract them with rocks, or you're pushing carts and you gotta hide behind them and stuff like that. I think the last one I did in the Tief and I can't remember the name of this place, but their hometown. You have to do one where you have to throw rocks to treats for the chocobo to go past these balloon things, but you have to like do it so the balloons pop up. These kind of plants, I guess they are, and they can't touch them or they go back. But it's Final Fantasy VII story, Sephiroth wants to, be the ruler of the planet, or he's gonna destroy the planet pretty much, but he'll be like the only one left. All this shit. He is a cool character, but he ain't as fucked up as Kefka in Final Fantasy VI-3. Not even close. He literally destroys in Final Fantasy 6 or 3 on Super Nintendo, 6 in Japan, then it was 6 here. He literally, halfway through the game, he literally destroys like the world, like this shit tons of tents, and you have to like try to like get fight back now. He's pretty much taken over and won, and then you have to go back and fight him. But he is a cool character. All the voice acting's good. The battle system's great. It's not the turn-based stuff. You're running around. You get the meter. You have a meter to do your special attacks and use items, and that builds up by blocking or wailing on dudes. You can stagger enemies, pressure them, all that shit. And you can obviously assess them and then know what their weaknesses are, and then you can stagger them quicker when you use their weaknesses and their resistance to stuff and all that shit. The usual Final Fantasy stuff there. All the characters are different, have different stuff, and different abilities they use, and then you have the folios, which are upgrading, getting new abilities. There's synergy abilities in this one where you team up with a character, do abilities, then you get a better one where it's like, it's kind of like your limit attack that builds up as well. You have summons in this game as well. They come in after you stagger an enemy. The meter will go up, and then they'll come in, and then they'll leave when the meter goes down. But they can do attacks as well. These are the folios. You can you get more experience points, more magic points, not more experience, more health points, more experience points, more magic points. Sorry. Different synergy attacks you can do. You can do some are attack up 3, and as your party levels up, that goes up as well, and you open up new folios. You're obviously finding gear in the game world. You can buy some as well, but I didn't really buy any. I just found most of it. But there's the vendors, the materia vendors, which you put the materia on your stuff, which goes you to magic and stuff like that. And other things than magic. Some will give you more vitality, more speed, help with your ATB meters. That's the thing that fills up and use attacks. You can use special attacks or spells and items. So the materia does a bunch of stuff, just tons of stuff. And so you can find equipment throughout the game. could put like ability on the equipment. You could equip 3 things that will maybe give you better attack, damage, or more hit points and all that shit. There's a lot going on in this game. That's why I wanted to kind of just do a short review of it. Those points where you get your friendships build up with everybody in the party when you do certain side quests or you answer things a certain way, or you do certain things that some people like, oh cool or whatever. And then you could do a date. I did it with Aerith and the Gold Saucer, but you apparently can do it with any one of the characters. And after you beat the game, you can like choose whoever you want to do it with. I guess if you want to see all the things. But it's an awesome game. I loved it. There was a couple points. Yeah, the one where you use Kate Sith, and you have to throw boxes at things. It went on too long, in my opinion. That dragged on. I talked about the Rufus. The Rufus Shinra battle boss fight was the toughest in the game for me personally. It pissed me off. I talked about it. It was harder than the Sephiroth fight at the end of the game. That I did in the first try. And that was a cool battle. It bounced back and forth between different characters and stuff. That was annoying the shit out of me. And there was something else that was pissing me off. Later game. I forget what it was. Must not bother me too much. Those are my only gripes, really. Was that. And there's also Chadley's back, and you're doing stuff for him, and you get intel for him and stuff. And then you can go in the combat simulator. It helps you level up, and then if you beat the summons, you do the proto-relic stuff. No, that's another thing you can do. Go to the other game world stuff you can do is the Mog, the Moogle. Things you gotta round up the Moogles, and you can do that. And each region has this stuff. There's the one with the summons where you gotta get the intel for the summons, do another little thing. And you're also finding world intel at these little springs as well. It's another thing you do. But you beat the summons in the combat simulator, then you can use them. You start the game with, I think it's Ifrit, Shiva, and the Chocobo, and Moogle. Like I said, there's a ton going on in this game. That's why I just wanted to kind of do a quick review. It's going to end up being about 15 minutes, but it would have been probably a half hour if I did it. So, I know I forgot a bunch of stuff here, but I love this game. I'm going to go with 9.5 on it. I forget what I gave Ghostwire Tokyo. I don't know if I did a 9.5 or a 9 on that. But I have to think about it hard, which one is still my favorite. Even though if I graded this one higher, I don't know. Because I still love Ghostwire Tokyo. Like, I want to just throw it in and screw around the game world more. I love that game, but I love this game as well. It was good. It's worth the money. Like, this is a game that's worth paying $70 for. I got 100 hours out of it. And I was doing everything. There's like 2 side missions I didn't do. Oh, that annoyed me, actually. When you, end the game, you can go to whatever chapter you want to clean up side quests. The problem is, I did the Gold Saucer side quest for the guy where he had to do like 5 things to be like the ultimate party animal. And I had done 4 of them, but the one was giving me trouble. It was when you had to battle all these crazy, like the Cactuar, they can kill you quickly, the Tonberries, all that shit. I was like, let me level up a little more, I'll go back and deal with it later. But then I go back to do it again, and it's not, I have to start at chapter 12. But the problem is I have to do all that shit again, the ones I had done previously, Chocobo race against the guy, the Queen's Blood thing. And the 2 other games, the one's like a shooter, space shooter one, and the other one's when you're on the motorcycle doing stuff. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that right now. So that's a little bit annoying. I was hoping to just have to go back and do the one, but no. But yeah, I'm going to go 9.5 on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Excellent game. Pick it up. Just pick it up. It's awesome. You're gonna enjoy it. There's a ton to love in this game. And then after that, I started playing this. Again, Resident Evil Village. I just beat the doll maker, whatever, Donna Benedetto, or I forget what her name is. Or I'm just not saying it right, but it's a cool game. I forgot that it was so short. It's shorter than 7. But this one has the hub area. And you go out and you gotta defeat the 4 lords and get parts of your daughter to put in this thing, and then you get her back. But you're Ethan Winters again, and I'm not going to talk too much about your Ethan Winters again. And your daughter Rose gets taken, and you gotta go find her. There's a twist in this. I'm gonna spoil it right now if you haven't played it. This came out in 21, right? So it's a spoiler here. Ethan it actually died in 7. You find that out in this one. Eveline was that her name. You became molded, like the Bakers were and everything else. Because Eveline, like, eventually in this one, she appears in like a vision or your dream of yours. And she's like, you ever wonder how you just haven't been able to die and you could withstand anything? And it's like, because you're molded. Because there's a part in his game where he gets his hand cut off and he just puts it back on with some health shit. I remember when I was first playing and that happened, I was like, this is weird. Like, something's got to be up with that. Like, that doesn't make sense. It's a cool game. It's not as good as 7. It's still fun, though. It's typical Resident Evil shit. But it is a cool game. You do end up using Chris towards the end. Chris Redfield. This one takes place in Europe as well. That's where Ethan and Mia are living. And this one harkens back to the original, like the series beginning, because you see umbrella symbols at a point. And it talks about how like they came to this village. The people from like the original games, I forget their names, who like started the virus stuff, went to this village and shit. But it's like all the other Resident Evils. You get different weapons. You get, there's different enemies in this. There's werewolves. There's these kind of zombie type guys. I forget the other enemies later on, because I'm pretty sure there's more that will pop up. And you get a bunch of stuff, and you're breaking boxes to get ammo. You can craft ammo and craft medicine and stuff in this game. You're finding treasures that you can sell to Duke, and you buy stuff from Duke. You upgrade stuff from him, as well your weapons. It looks good. It still looks good. I'd like to kind of see what it looks like on the newer consoles, but I was considering it on the PS5, but I was like, I don't want to pay like $30, $40 for it. Because at that point, I would just get the gold edition to get the DLC, which I know the DLC is not as good as the DLC they had in 7 as well. But still, it is a really cool game. And I just wanted to throw it in. I was like, I want something to play. It's one of the few Xbox One games I kept out. On top of the stuff I have downloaded on the system, but disc-based stuff. I don't know if I'm going to end up finishing it again, but I want to. I probably will, I don't know. But yeah, Resident Evil Village. And this game, Life is Strange Before the Storm, which I actually completed in 2 days. I was home, I just played the shit out of it. I beat it today. Well, I'm filming this Tuesday night. I don't know, this will probably go up Thursday. Cool game, it was cool, I liked it. It's probably like 8-9 hours I ended up beating it. It's 3 chapters or 3 parts. You play as Chloe here. This is a prequel to the first game. So you play as Chloe here, Chloe Price, and Max had moved out, and she has no friends now. She's pissed at Max because she's not returning her texts and stuff now. It's kind of heartbreaking, actually. And her mom meets David in this one, who's obviously in the first Life Strange as well. So there's friction there. She's pissed about that. She's a rebel, as it says. But you just have to make choices in this game. The one thing in this game is you have a talk back thing where you start arguing with somebody or insulting them, and you have to pick the right choices, and you get up to a certain point. If you don't pick the right ones, the other person will kind of win the argument. Or you win the argument. Actually, I haven't played the bonus episode. That's when Max and Chloe are younger. It's like right before she moves, I think. And her father dies, Chloe's father. Sorry, there are spoilers here. But she meets Rachel Amber in this game, and then it talks about their relationship. Which kind of is, I did not beat the first Life is Strange. I'm actually going back, because the first episode's available, and so I went back and played that episode again. So I'm thinking about buying, I think I was up to episode 4 or 5. And hopefully just buying those 2 episodes and completing it. But I did read about the ending, and it's a little bit of actually it's a complete downer compared to the first one in terms of like what happens in that. It was cool. You make choices. There's, and you have little choices throughout the game that you make, minor choices as well. The characters are good. There's a part where, and I want to get, it's called, I forgot the name of it. I think it's called True Colors or something like that. Life is Strange. It's the last one they put out. But one of the characters from this one is apparently in it. Steph, who I actually really liked her character, and Mikey. They both play like the D&D style game, and then Chloe plays with them and stuff. They were I actually like those characters a lot. And Rachel and Chloe are good characters. There's other people in there, like Drew is a pretty good character as well. It's Mikey's brother. And other people from the first Life is Strange pop up in here, like Nathan and Victoria, Chase, Nathan Prescott. The principal was his name. Is his name actually Blackwell too? That's the name of the school, but he's in here again. Obviously, Chloe's mom's in here. David. This is like, because the more spoilers, she keeps kind of dreaming about her father's death. She's hanging out with her dad, and there's one where you do a play at one point, and she's on stage, and you hear the truck coming that hit him, and his car, and he hears it, and he's like, "That's my cue." There's actually some pretty good emotional stuff in this game. A little bit is a kind of detached in that it's a video game, so some of the dialogue doesn't really make sense, or it makes sense, but the way they talk is just, it doesn't, sometimes it's just like, eh. But it's hard to make that flow completely in a video game. This does a pretty good job of it, though. But I want to play the other ones now. I know the second Life is Strange 2, it deals with two brothers, I believe, and I don't think it has any relation to this game, these games. But it's like heartbreaking because Chloe's like writing these letters to Max that she's not obviously sending to her. Because there's a point where Max stops responding, and obviously they touch on it in the first one when she meets up with Chloe again. But it's like hard. You could tell she misses her so much in these letters and stuff that she's not sending to her, and she's pissed at her, but she does miss her. But it was a cool game. If you like these kind of... This one doesn't have any powers, like Max has powers in this one. I think in Life is Strange Season 2, someone has powers. I don't know about True Colors. I think someone has powers in that as well, the character you use. But I think it's called True Colors, I might be wrong. Chloe just has the back talk stuff, but it's still a cool game. Pretty good story as well, with some of the twists involving Rachel's family and stuff. And there's drama in there, and then it gets intense and stuff. It's a really cool game. I actually really liked it. I'd pick it up if you want to start with this one. If you've never played any, you might as well start with this one and then play the first one that came out, like just the regular Life is Strange. After this one, it will add up more and be like, oh shit, Or actually, I guess you'd want to start with the bonus episode when they're kids, Chloe and Max. Well, they're only 15, 16, 18 over the course of the games, but because that's when they're before Max leaves, and stuff. So you're getting more story there as well. They're cool games, though. I don't know. I like these kind of games. I would definitely check these out. Might as well start with this one, and it's the cheapest. I saw the True Colors one. I might just get it on the Xbox One. It's under $20 new, and the second season, it's Life is Strange Season 2, or whatever they call it. It's also not that expensive, if I decide to get that one as well. But yeah, cool game. But yeah, that's just what I've been playing here, and a little bit of about 15-minute review on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth 9.5. Great, amazing game. These are all good games. I check them all out if you haven't played them before, and yeah. Thanks for checking this out, and have a good day.